Guys, the tension brewing between Willow and that cold-blooded manipulator Sidwell is reaching a breaking point that will leave us all reeling. We have been watching Willow suffer under his thumb for far too long, and I think it is time for her to stop playing the victim. If you ask me, she is far more dangerous than anyone in Port Charles gives her credit for, and I suspect she has been playing a long game that no one expected. It seems like the constant pressure to betray Drew has pushed her into a corner, but instead of breaking, she is sharpening her claws in the shadows. I truly believe that her recent silence is not submission, but a tactical retreat designed to lull Sidwell into a false sense of security before she strikes back with everything she has got. Guys, imagine the look on Sidwell's face when he realizes his pawn has become his executioner. We have seen how he disposed of poor Henry, and if you ask me, that was the moment Willow decided that she had to act or die. Our minds are blown just thinking about the possibility of her utilizing those experimental sedatives. I think it is brilliant that she would choose to paralyze him rather than end him, as it forces him to witness the total collapse of his own dark empire. It is a poetic justice that I think would resonate with every viewer watching at home. This means that if she succeeds, the power dynamic in Port Charles will shift instantly, leaving everyone from Brennan to Ross scrambling to figure out what went wrong. We know that Sidwell is always 3 steps ahead, but what if he completely missed the one person who was watching his every move from the inside? It is such a thrilling prospect to consider. If you ask me, we have to talk about the psychological toll this is taking on Willow. She is not the same woman who lived a quiet life. She is being forged in the fires of manipulation and fear. You can see it in her eyes during those tense scenes at Windermere, where she balances on the razor edge of survival. I feel like she is harboring a level of rage that she has kept locked away, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash it. Could it be that she has been using her proximity to Drew to gather information that will finally bring Sidwell down for good? I suspect she is not just protecting herself, but also uncovering the truth about the missing pieces of the puzzle involving Britt and the broader conspiracy that has haunted us all season. The air in Port Charles feels thick with secrets, and I think we are nearing a reveal that will shake the very foundations of the hospital and the waterfront. Guys, do you think for a second that Sidwell would ever suspect her? He sees her as a means to an end, a fragile piece of his grand design to dismantle everything that Sunny has built. But I think he is underestimating her resolve. If you ask me, this is going to be the most delicious betrayal we have seen in years. The way she has been handling the pressure, the way she manages to keep her cool even when the threats are flying, it all points to a calculated plan. I really believe she has identified the exact moment when he will be at his most vulnerable. And when that moment comes, it will not just be a physical attack, but a total psychological dismantling of his ego. I cannot wait to see how this unfolds, because if my instincts are correct, the fallout will be absolutely legendary. We also need to consider how this might affect the others who are caught in the crossfire. If Sidwell is suddenly neutralized, what happens to the deal he made with the shadows? Could it be that Brennan is forced to step out of the darkness? Or will Ross decide to take control of the chaos for himself? I think this is a domino effect that will ripple through every storyline currently in play. The uncertainty is what makes this so addictive for us as fans. We are watching a masterclass in tension, and I feel like the writers are leading us toward a climax that will redefine the power structure of the entire town. It is not just about Willow winning. It is about the entire house of cards collapsing while everyone else is still busy fighting their own battles in the dark. I truly think we are on the verge of a shift that will change the landscape of our favorite show forever. I honestly think that the connection between the experimental drugs and the wider history of Port Charles is going to be the key to everything. You have to wonder what else Sidwell has hidden away in those labs. And if Willow is the one to bring it to light, she becomes the hero of her own story. It is such a powerful shift in character, moving from a damsel in distress to the person who holds the ultimate power over a villain. If you ask me, we should all be rooting for her to take that shot, not just for her own sake, but for the sake of everyone he has hurt. The thought of him being trapped in his own body, forced to listen to her, finally tell him exactly what she thinks of his pathetic plans, is just the kind of karma I live for. Guys, the drama is real and it is happening right under our noses. Could it be that this secret, once exposed, leads directly back to the legacy of those who came before? I think there is a deep hidden history here that involves more than just the current players. We know that in Port Charles, nothing ever stays buried for long. The truth always has a way of rising to the surface, usually at the worst possible time. I suspect that as Willow confronts Sidwell, she is going to learn something that will change her perspective on her own life and the people she thought she could trust. It might not be the happy ending we hope for, but it will be a compelling one. I am convinced that the truth might be exposed in a way that leaves no room for denial, and that is when the real fireworks will start. We need to stay glued to every detail, because the smallest gesture or the briefest look could be the clue we need to solve this entire mystery. If you ask me, the tension is becoming unbearable. Every time I watch these scenes, I find myself holding my breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. You can see how the characters are struggling to maintain their composure, but the pressure is clearly getting to them. I think we are all feeling the same level of anxiety, and that is a testament to the incredible work being done on screen. We are being pulled into this world, and we cannot look away because the stakes are just too high. Whether it is the danger at the waterfront or the emotional turmoil within the families, everything feels connected to this one pivotal moment. It is truly a wild ride, and I, for one, am here for every single second of it. We are seeing the characters push to their limits, and I cannot wait to see who comes out on the other side of this storm. I am also thinking about the role that fate plays in all of this. It feels like all these paths are converging for a reason, and Willow being the catalyst is just so fitting. She has been through so much, and she deserves to be the one who changes the game. If you ask me, this is her moment of redemption and power. She is taking control of her future, and she is doing it on her own terms. It is inspiring to see her rise to the challenge, even when the odds are stacked against her. This means that we are watching her evolve into a character who can hold her own against the most dangerous people in the city. I am so excited to see where this leads, because I have a feeling that we have only just begun to scratch the surface of what is really going on behind the scenes. Finally, guys, consider the possibility that this is only the beginning of a much larger battle. Even if Sidwell is incapacitated, the forces he represents are still out there. We might be looking at a new chapter where Willow has to navigate the consequences of her actions while dealing with the fallout of what she has uncovered. It is a never-ending cycle of drama and intrigue, which is why we love this show so much. I think the writers are setting us up for something truly special, and I am here for it all. We have to keep watching, keep guessing, and keep being surprised, because that is what makes the experience so rewarding. It is the thrill of the unknown that keeps us coming back, and I know I am not the only one feeling this way. Goodbye, and see you again in my other videos!
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.